Do you know the atrocious things that principals do? Because he has to keep his job. They partition the library. They put some children to sleep in the library. They partition dining halls. You should go to some of these national schools I don't want to mention.
It's happening today.
You find places where children
are sleeping. The sanatorium.
Yes, under the stairs. Some have, and then the bathrooms are not enough, the toilets are not enough. And then there is a government lacking common sense building a stadium worth 100 billion. Let me tell people something, because sometimes they think I make noise for nothing. The president was celebrating Madaraka. I don't know what kind of Madaraka that is, in a stadium that was alleged to have cost 4 billion. And by the way, I think taxpayers 4 billion is very special, because when you look at that stadium, unatafuta 4 billion unakosa. But think about it this way. To build one classroom in this country costs 1 million shillings. Yeah. So when you have, a billion is 1,000 millions. I like explaining things to Kenyans in the easiest way. Yeah. 1 billion is 1,000 millions. So when you have 1 billion, you have 1,000 classrooms.
Yes.
When you have 4 billion, you have 4,000 classrooms. If you take 4,000 classrooms and spread them across the 47 counties, congestion is over in our schools. In fact, that is classrooms plus dormitories. It is enough. So what we wasted in one stadium in Wajir, and people in Wajir will come and say, I'm fighting development. I'm not. Think about it this way. What's the maximum number of times a stadium can be used in a year? Probably 2 times a week. 2 times a week times 56 times 53 weeks is what? 100 opportunities of that stadium being occupied, if it is lucky to have 100 visits.
Meanwhile, what you're saying is
if you had built classrooms
or dorms,
they would have been occupied by children throughout the year.
To the number of 85 per county.
Yes. So 85 each county.
Because if you took 4,000 classrooms or dorms and spread them around 47 counties, you essentially get 85 per county. You would have 85 if you took that, and this is 4 billion shillings. It's not 400 billion. It's not 40 billion. It's 4 billion, and that we're saying with that 4 billion shillings, if you applied it and said we are going to put up a structure where children can sleep spaced out properly, or we're going to add more classrooms so that people are not doing ridiculous things like sleeping in a sanatorium or under the stairs, you would have 85 new ones per county. And then I would have to ask the question: when is the last time you saw a school being built in the country? The last time.
So that's the kind of madness that we are dealing with. And I strongly to suggest to Kenyans, really, if we are going to vote in 2027, and I believe we are going to vote, that KIMS kit for checking whether it is you who is voting, we adjust it a bit. It should have something for measuring common sense. So as you put your finger there, it measures whether your brain is up to standard to vote for us, a leader who has got common sense. So that if it measures and says you're a dimwit, we deny you an opportunity to vote, because you're going to give us the wrong leaders.
If today you were asked, because we all know what your aspirations are, Fanya Mambo, because the school thing is an issue now. There are children, families who are now being given 200,000 shillings compensation, whereas the gesture, it's from the it's a good gesture, but you will never be able to bring back life, and we are still in the throes of the problem. What do you think needs to be done at the moment, where we are having schools closing down every hour? Is what it looks like today.
I think a lot of things need to be done. First, those children are going through a very difficult time. School is not a place they look forward to. The amount of capitation that is being given to school, if it is being given and it comes late, is not enough. What principals have resorted to doing, and I have seen it firsthand, they look for the cheapest supply of maize. I'm even afraid that God has just been faithful. Our children have not died of aflatoxin poisoning. Our principals are looking for the cheapest supply of maize, not because they hate our children, but because that's how they keep the children in school. Kama ni maharagwe, wewe ukisema unauza 120 per kg na wewe unauza 110, anachukua ya 110 hata kama imejaa mawe, because that's the only way to feed these children. It's gotten to a place, even the cabbage supplier, you look for the cheapest, not the best. You know, at home when you go to the market, you look for the best cabbage you take home. School principals are having to choose the worst and the cheapest to be able to feed the children.
And this is the case?
Yes, it is the case. It is the case all over. And they are being sued all over. There are so many cases they have in court. They've not paid suppliers. Some their school buses are being auctioned because they've not paid suppliers. So First, let us reinvest in these schools in the right way. Let us make sure there's enough infrastructure for our children. Let us make sure they have enough toilets. Let us give them dignity, because what these people have actually lacked is dignity. There is no dignity for our children in our schools.
Do you think they need to put a pin in it and ask children to come home for a minute and let's just first and then see what needs? Do you think that needs to happen?